Different types of eggs. Now, eggs can be classified into different types on many different bases. Now, here we are going to discuss about the types of eggs based on the quantity of yolk that is present in the eggs. So, on this basis, eggs can be of four types. Alecithal, that is free of yolk. An egg without any yolk or very minimal amount of yolk, that is alecithal. Microlecithal, micro means what? Very small. So very small amount of yolk, that is microlecithal. Mesolecithal, meso means medium. So moderate amount of yolk, that is mesolecithal. And macro, which means big. So large amount of yolk is macrolecithal or polylecithal. Poly means many. So large amount of yolk is macro or polylecithal. Now where do we find alecithal eggs? So the best examples are the human eggs, which are alecithal. You talk about microlecithal, so the eggs of kangaroo could be a good example for microlecithal eggs. Eggs of frogs and toads, they are mesolecithal, and eggs of insects, bony fishes, reptiles and birds, they are macrolecithal. So in fact, I'm sure you would have seen the eggs of birds and you get to see a huge amount of yellow colored yolk which is there inside. So when large amount of yolk is present, that's macrolecithal. So this was pretty simple. No yolk, alecithal, less, micro, medium, meso, huge, that's macro. So that was a pretty simple classification of eggs. Now eggs can also be classified into four more types based on the distribution of yolk in the eggs, like how the yolk is distributed in the egg, if it is present uniformly throughout or it is concentrated towards one portion of the egg. So depending upon how the yolk is distributed in the eggs, they can again be classified as four types: homolecithal, telolecithal, myolecithal and centrolecithal. Homolecithal. Homo means what? Homo means same or similar. So homolecithal is also known as isolecithal. Iso again means same. Right? So homolecithal and isolecithal are the same, and this type of egg has uniform distribution or equal distribution of yolk throughout the egg. So yolk is uniformly distributed throughout the cytoplasm. So here you see the green colored area shows the nucleus and the yellow region shows the yolk. So the yolk is present uniformly throughout the egg, and that is why this is homo or isolecithal eggs. Now these type of eggs are seen in protochordates and also in echinoderms. Let's move on to the next one, that is telolecithal. So telolecithal are those type of eggs where the yolk is concentrated towards the vegetal half. Like in every egg you have one animal half, animal pole and the vegetal pole, right? So animal pole is towards the side and the vegetal pole is towards the side. So if the yolk is concentrated towards the vegetal half, like as you see here, just towards the bottom portion you have all the yolk. So this is called telolecithal. So this type of eggs are seen in case of amphibians and birds. In fact, amphibians and fishes. Telolecithal is seen in amphibians and fishes. Next is myolecithal, where yolk occupies the entire cytoplasm except a small disc-like area, because this small disc-like area is left for the nucleus, because nucleus also needs some space to stay, right? So you see most of the part of the egg is occupied by the yolk, and this is called myolecithal. In this case, this type of eggs can be seen in case of birds, reptiles and even the egg-laying mammals. So there you see myolecithal eggs. And finally centrolecithal. Centro is obviously from center, and it means the yolk is concentrated at the center. So you see here the yellow portion is at the center and then the cytoplasm is like towards the outside. So that's centrolecithal, and this is seen in case of insects' eggs. So these are the types of eggs based on the distribution of the yolk inside the egg. So here the yellow portion shows the yolk. So looking at the image itself, you can see that how the yolk is distributed differently in different types of eggs.